She shut off my mic. Thank you, Pam. Correction. One more person showed up, so 92. If we stay long enough, we might find 8 people to sign that list and we can hit 100. Okay, the next person is no stranger to you, and we'll have him come next. Jimmy Boy Edming.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's fun to be around like-minded people that are conservative, and it's awesome. And I'd like to thank Travis and the guys for putting this on, and thank you to each and every one of you that are here tonight. I'm going to start this out a little with kind of a joke. And Margaret Thatcher and Ben Laden and George Bush were riding in an airplane. And all of a sudden the motors quit, the airplane went down, no survivors. Well, the first guy they run into was the old devil. So he said to Margaret Thatcher, he said, you know, I don't know an awful lot about you, but he said, the easiest way to find out is for me to have you phone someone back home, three-way me into the conversation, and I can decide where you're going to go. All right, so the phone call went on, and about an hour later, the old devil says to Margaret, he says, that'll be $1 million. Cut him a check. Next one was Ben Laden. He said, I don't know much about you either, but he said, I got to do the same. So he got on the phone, three-wayed him in. Hour and a half later, he said, $1.5 million. Cut him a check. Next is George Bush, and he said, I don't know a lot about you either, but he said, let's do the same thing. So he got him on the phone. 2.5 hours later, the devil says, well, George, that'll be 25 cents. And Ben Laden and Margaret Thatcher just started screaming. They said, how can you charge us $1 million and $1.5 million and charge him 25 cents? The devil said, well, since Obama and the Democrats took office, America's gone to hell, and that's a local call. A little bit off. But anyway, tonight I decided what I was going to talk about, assuming that there was going to be many people here that really didn't know me. I was born and raised in Glen, Florida. Spent my entire life here with the exception of the time that I went on to school and the 5 years that I taught school at Osseo Fairchild. My hobbies, I work many hours a week, and my hobbies are the old Model T sitting out there. And one of the reasons that I like a Model T is because they are so simple. And I love studying about Henry Ford. You know, Henry Ford had garage logic, which our political, I shouldn't say all of them, many of our political leaders do not have any garage logic. Henry Ford never put a gauge on a car. He said, if the radiator is steaming, guess what? It's hot. If it ain't leaking oil, you better put some in. If a little grease is good, a lot is better. 2 years ago, I took that same very car and left Glen, Florida, and drove it to Baltimore, Maryland, with my boys and granddaughters. We met the car club from California, from California, and then drove the old girl to California, met my sister from Hawaii, went up through the Bighorns, the Tetons, Yellowstone, the Bighorn Mountains, and made it back home. There's very few people can say today that they crossed America both ways in a Model T, but I did. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is, what is the job description of a state senator? And so, all of us, this is going to be new because our present state senator, Russ Decker, has never been around to see us to speak of. It's true that the state senate is in session on the low side probably 40 days a year to 60 days a year. That the senator is absolutely, positively, unequivocally has to be in Madison. But there are committee meetings that the senator has to go to, because you're going to get like 2 or 3 different committees. And those committees will meet whenever they need to. And they try to make it so, as a senator, I'm gonna go to Madison, try to go there only 1 day a week. And that day will be a day that either different organizations are there and they want to meet with their legislators. I don't plan on spending the entire time there like Senator Decker does. There are county board meetings that the senator has to go to. How many here have ever seen a state senator at a county board meeting? Don't see no hands. Let's go to a town board meeting. Have you ever seen a state senator at a town board meeting? This is part of their job description that they're supposed to do. So you're in Madison 1 day a week, every week, at least 1 day. You have committee meetings to go to, county board meetings, and you're going to spend probably a day, 2 days, traveling throughout the district, solving problems that people in the district have. Mary has been fantastic on this. Decker, don't know where he goes. He's not there. And you folks have to realize you will be my boss, not the other way around. I have to answer to you. And this oil crisis, I can't believe that there is not a legislator. Let's compare this oil crisis in the Gulf to farming. If you had a manure tank out behind your barn, a slurry I think they call them, or a pit, and if you had one top straw just drizzling a little out of that tank, I guarantee you're going to have the DNR, the state of Wisconsin, the militia, the state patrol, the Marine Corps on your butt. If you look under my car, you're going to see oil leaking out of it. If the right guy was here, I'm going to get a ticket. It was made to leak. But what's happened in this Gulf thing is BP is spewing billions of barrels of oil out of there, and now Obama says, well, I think we're going to put a committee on this. I can't believe that there's not one legislator in Washington that doesn't grab the bull by the horns and say, by God, you're going to do something about this. Look, how would you like to have a condominium in this? Spend your entire life's earnings and then look out the window and see brown pelicans. You know, and that's basically what they're doing. But anyway, my platform is simple. Pam touched on this, the jobs issue. Harley-Davidson last year on this combined program that the Dems put through on a straight Democrat ticket. Harley-Davidson got nailed $23.5 million more last year on the combined tax report than what they did before. One thing I learned in the pizza business is you go where you love. And our climate in Wisconsin is not a loving climate for business, and we have to change that. I want to see some jobs come in. I want to, and one thing, and if I get nothing else done in my term, I want to see some term limits on these jobs. They get in office and they're more concerned about getting back into office. I think you should have 2 terms. You're out of Dodge. Anyway, my website is jimmyboyforsenate.com. We've got some very interesting things on there. One of them that I truly love is, it's called I Like Guns. It was a fellow from Australia, stopped at the station and we got to talking, and he gave me his website. He's a musician, and he sings and shoots guns and blows up cars. I mean, it's just absolutely awesome. I showed him my pistols, and he said, man, would I love to have them back home. They got some pretty serious gun control there. But anyway, I need your vote, I need your support, I need your prayers. Remember November.